with the guest speaker right away from Yogyakarta. Jauh-jauh loh masnya dari Jogja ke sini ya naik kereta to meet you all. And he's going to share about his journey in embarking on YSEALi ya. YSEALi for the professional, right? Okay. So here sit with us, dokter ini, Emir Gemilang Jayaringga, sudah lulus dari FKUM dan sekarang lagi apa nih? Internship di sebuah rumah sakit di Yogyakarta. Nah, menariknya beliau ini nanti akan cerita perjalanannya daftar YSEALi mulai dari dulu berulang-ulang-ulang sampai akhirnya lolos. I really suggest him to share his ups and downs and everything, because sometimes people sharing their journey are all about the successful stuff, and that sometimes can be very intriguing and can put you down gitu. Jadi beberapa orang tuh memang untuk melamar sesuatu emang butuh jatuh bangun berkali-kali. Saya pun juga I'm proudly say that I was rejected by Fulbright for about 5 times or so, Australia Award Scholarship, and also LPDP. Jadi emang itu nggak sekali coba langsung instan, no. Even I fail. Dan barusan ini juga postdoc saya juga ditolak kok, so don't worry, keep trying, gitu ya. Right. Okay, so Dr. Emir, silahkan. The time is yours. Yes, you can use the microphone.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's such an honor being here. And then this is the very first time that I visited Malang. And it's such a dream to finally visit Malang and all its kind, all the touristic places. And I have so much fun yesterday in Museum Angkor. And I also did not stop right after Museum Angkor. Like I just washed and then rushed to the Bromo mountain and just got back and washed, and then I barely sleep, for the past 24 hours. So, and yet I'm still here and then making my time and to meet you all and share my experiences. And I hope this will inspire you to not giving up for your dreams. So let me introduce myself. My name is Emir Gemilang Jayaringga. I'm a doctor by professions, but I'm more than just a doctor. I also love to speak and I love to share with people and I love to surf as well. And I've been volunteering in the American Corner UMA, just like friends right here, they are volunteer. I started my volunteer journey at American Corner UMA back in my second year of college in 2015. I started college in 2014. So I've been around with American Corner ever since, and I can count it like for 8 years. And I'm still love the ambience and the people and the everyone that I work with in American Corner and American Spaces. And then last year, if I'm not mistaken, I got a chance to meet all of the directors from all American Spaces across Indonesia, and one of them is Buria. We had so much fun in Jogja, and I also meet lots of volunteer, and that was my first time, and that's why I thought it's so much fruitful if we can connect to one another. So if ever that I can go to some of American Spaces, I have someone to talk with. So yeah. Today, I would like to share you about my experiences throughout my YSEALi journey. I can share you the experiences how I get, where I am today, but I'm not yet there in the YSEALi program in America. I'm about to go to the United States of America upcoming September. I'm very excited about that. I haven't get the email of my placement yet, but I'm really thrilled, and it will be going to be awesome because this is not just an academic fellow, but this is a professional fellow. Remember that my profession is a doctor, so I'm excited to be placed in a NGO or organizations that focuses on health issues, because that was my project. So we can start by, can we use this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maybe you can click that got it. So okay.
Okay, so the overview of my presentation is about the background of YSEALi and then my YSEALi stories, and then my lesson learned throughout my stories, and what to prepare if you are about to prepare yourself, and then do and don't. Is that okay? I'm using like full English, or do you want me to switch in Bahasa or use like bilingual or something?
Bilingual
is
is
fine,
okay.
right? Thank you
Okay.
so much. Very understand. So may I know that here is college students or some of professionals? College student. Hmm? Oh, okay. So you guys are lecturers?
Master degree,
Oh,
partly professional.
postgraduate. Okay, postgraduate students. So this is such an honor. I'm speaking in front of postgraduate students. I've just graduated. It's such an honor, truly. So, and the background, YSEALi stand for Young Southeast Asia Leader Initiative that was launched by the former President of United States of America in 2013, Mr. President Barack Obama, and it aims to empower the young leaders from the age of 18 to 85. So across the Southeast Asia, they also, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's a technical problem. It's happened sometimes. That's fine. So what are you guys major in? English education, perfect. And you also English education's perfect. Wow. I'm talking in front of like, a master in English education. So pardon my English, okay? Because I'm not studying English. So how about the rest? Which faculty that you are guys coming from? Psychology, English language education, international relations, perfect, awesome. I always dreamed to be a diplomat, but I shift my focus to be a doctor. Poor me. Yeah, like I always wanted to be a diplomat. I thought my mom, and then my mom was like, dumb me in the medical school, but I enjoyed it. So should I like, oh, join the IDEO? Okay. Join with computer IDEO. Ah, sorry. So what should I do? Oh, thank you. You're such a savior. Okay, I'm really bad at IT stuff, That's just why that I'm not into it, technical stuff. So back to the slide. So the YSEALi is actually aims to provide the young leaders to resources, knowledge, and networks that needed to address their regional issues. So YSEALi is also promoted the
Slideshow, sorry. Yeah.
slideshow. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me again. Again, I'm this one?
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Actually, it also promotes the leadership development, civic engagement, and cross-cultural understanding among the youth in Southeast Asia. As we know that in Southeast Asia, it might be different from the youth and coming from other regions in Asia. Like Asia, mostly they are very multi ethnicity, and then Indonesia and Thailand and the Philippines, we are so much more different. For example, I have a culture shock came to Malang. It's just like 6 hours away by the train. In Jogja, we drive slowly and we are patiently waiting for somebody else's to cross and pass by. But in Malang, I'm almost got hit like multiple times. I was just like, what happening? Like, okay, this is just a different, but it's just not about culture. But I think there is a lot of, some of ways that influence the way we live our life, even if we are just hours away and then different, and we are so much more different. So in about the challenges and issues that we have in our social life, in our community, we might have a same ideas, same issues, but the approach to the issue is different because again, we are having our wisdom, we are having our own culture. So it's really hard to breaking through all the cultural barriers that we've been put through. For example, my originals, I mean, my parents are both from the West Sumatra, from Minangkabau, right? So when I came to Jogja first time in 2014, I was shot like by so many people because I speak too loud and too fast.
Oh, okay.
You know? Okay. And then people like my friends just keep telling me like, stop fighting with your mom. I'm not fighting. This is how we talk. And soon I live in Jogja, and about first 2 years, I really adjusting myself how they communicate. They were very slow and they were very calm. So this is how I talk now because I live in Jogja. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. So that is why this is really important in YSEALi and Southeast Asia. Importantly, they are very much different in the culture and ethnicity. And in order to get all of this, ideas from all different backgrounds, it's really important. I do know lots of people like coming from professional. They were lecturers. They were, I don't know, like the other occupations are joining YSEALi. And I thought that as a doctor, like, doctor mostly, they don't think about YSEALi. Why should they? Right? They was just thinking like after they graduated, they go to internship. After internship, they were thinking about how to get a medical specialization and whatever and whatever. They don't think about this stuff. But as soon as I start my internship, I found that there is so many people are lacking education about the health issues and also the access to the healthcare itself. So that's why I come up with my project. So let's talk about before we go to my experiences, you can ask me later. There's so much I can tell you. I'm so excited to tell everything that you need to know about me. And this is my starting point, encounter with YSEALi. As I mentioned before, I start volunteering in American Corner at the year 2015, and that's the very first time also open up a program called YSEALi Summit Digital Delegate. Back then I don't know what it was. I don't know what they are doing, and it was about digital and social media and blah blah and blah blah. So I took the challenge because of my colleague, like the volunteer, they were like applying for that program. So I felt like I should give a shot too. Like all I know was speak English, why not I apply? I didn't know the extent of the program. I didn't know what actually they are looking for. So just because I thought I can't, I'm apply. But it's a good attitude, by the way, but not yet prepared so much. All right, then I fail. I did not accept it. Most of us, like nobody in our American corner got accepted. So in 2015, the same year, I just realized there's a global undergraduate program. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
I believe you do, right?
Yeah.
Like global you grad. And I always dreamed to leave the country.
Don't we all?
I'm being so brutally honest today, but this is just how we are. Like we should be authentic. I always dreamed to leave the country. So as soon as I start, like if I got, a degree, a college, a contributions, if I could make that, I could make, my own life living in somewhere that I felt like I'm comfortable with and I be accepted for who I am. Because back home, like they were so judgmental. Like, well, I'm not saying all of them, but it's about like how you feel. It's really important about your mental health and well-being. So I thought that giving a chance to being in one semester by the program, I thought it would be nice to go. And then I tried and I failed and I didn't stop there. The next year, I try again in 2016, but that was the last attempt for me because it's supposed to be, whether you are second and third year of, undergraduate, but fourth year, you are not allowed to. So I gave a shot for twice and I did not get accepted. So in a 2017, one of my colleagues in American Corner get accepted from YSEALi Academic Fellow 2017. Her project was about to, cultivate, the spirit for the youth to sustain the weaving, like kind of fabric that, uniquely for their own ethnicity in Buton in Southeast Sulawesi. And like nobody, like the youth there doesn't care about the weaving because the weaving like doesn't, giving it so much income, but it's a way of, preserving your culture heritage. And it's a concern because in Asian countries, we are now influenced so much by the Western culture. Sometimes we, um, whitewashing, the culture we have behind. So I think that it's really important for her to come up with that idea. So she started by that, and then she got accepted and went to YSEALi. I think she went to Arizona. I could still remember. And then I'm trying to copycat her. Really, I'm trying to copycat her because I thought that she could be successful by that project. So I thought I can do some stuff too with my, the scarf, the fabric that from my hometown in Padang in Muko Bengkulu. And so I did the same thing, I copycat her. I'm truly brutally honest. And it's not working. You are not working by, copycat other people. You need to be authentic. I will talk about it later. So I did not get accepted. In 2019, the same way, I, with my director back then, before my director now, Miss Mariska, my director was Mr. Putut. He very, involved in, eco print and stuff. So I volunteer in one of his project called Shiro. She is a hero. So we teach, young mothers, young girls, and mothers, who are uh, just they do not have a real jobs. I mean, like they don't go to jobs. They basically stay at home as a domestic. So we try to elevate the income of the family by, the empowering all of these women in around areas in Lingo Bantu. So we teach them how to make, this kind of eco prints, fabric and whatsoever. And then it's very got successful. So I tried to copycat him again. I was a copycat, I was a copycat all the time. So I also did the same thing and also proposed the same project, almost the same, because I'm trying to copy. I'm just, there's like a meme saying it's like, can I borrow your homework? Just change a little so it won't be obvious. That's what I do. Really, that's what I do. So I did not accept it. So in 2021, I come back with, and then finally I found out who I am. And I was, I'm a doctor, man. Like, can you do like your own thing? Can you do like your own thing? Like, stop copying somebody else. So I started realizing, what can I do to help people? So I didn't have anything, issues in mind back then, because what I would focus on in 2021, I really focus on, serving as a koas ya, kalau bahasa Indonesia, as a clinical rotation students in a hospital during pandemic. So I didn't really, get involved like what people are, having issues in terms of health and whatever until I have it myself. So what happened to me? Maybe I told these stories in our meeting. No?
You can tell it again. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm brutally honest. I think there is no need to be ashamed of. There is no need to be, sitting in the closet anymore about who you truly are. I was depressed. I have a suicidal thought. I about to kill myself 3 times. So I have a mental issues. I'm depressed in the middle of pandemic. Well, I think it's very common for medical professionals when it comes to, in times of pandemic, we are overloaded with works and we don't have enough sleep and we scared we might die. Because some of my college, I still remember the very first doctor in Yogyakarta died because of COVID-19 infections. is my preceptors, is my teacher, which and the last of his surgery, he's a surgeon. On the last of his surgery, I was assisting him. So we were like four of people in the operating table. He was the operator. There was a first assistant, which is the nurse, and the second assistant, which is me, and the third for the instrument with the medical stuff and stool. So we worked together on the last day. So the next 2 days, he got confirmed that he got positive COVID, and then I got traced too with the other assistant. So the other ones, across him, the first assistant is also positive, and I was, thankfully I was negative because I was behind him because I was the second assistant. So a week later, we finally, get the bad news that he passed away. So I really scared back then. We hear a lots of, ambulance, maybe, for non-medical people, if, non-medical professionals, they were not really thinking about how it does it, it's scary in the hospital during pandemic, but I saw it first myself. I saw people die. I saw people, oh, I couldn't tell the rest of the things, but that was make me scared as a person. I'm not yet, who I am. I'm not ready. I'm full of sin. I'm gonna die soon. Like I'm so depressed. But the other than that, maybe it's just maybe because I have also the burden of, my childhood was not resolved, things that I pressure because I have to take medical course instead of, international relations. No, just kidding about that. I do love medicines. Yeah, there's other things that never come out, that never heard, and we were always shut down by the culture of patriarchy. Let's say when I was a kid, nobody's saying to me that it's okay to cry as a boy, right? They were always telling you, you are not allowed to cry because you're a boy. You're supposed to be strong. But they forgot that a boy is also human. We are made of emotions. Am I right?
Yes.
So until I found out that it is so hard, even me as a medical professional, surrounding with medical professional, my friends are doctor, my preceptors are doctor, they know what the mental health was. They know exactly what I've been through. They know, they learned about it. But in fact, what you learn, it's not what you actually, put into action. I still believe that there is a lacking understanding for those who people that have a mental health, even from the medical professional. So how does we could get deliver the care for people with mental health in the professional setting if we still judgment about the people who having it? So I thought we should try to find the roots of the problems. The roots of the problems that I found myself is the lack of what we call empathy. In medical, we always learn about how to communicate first, other than any skills. And the very first 2 second semester, you will learn how to communicate with patients. I think teachers does, international relation does, everything need to communicate, right? In case of medical professional, there's like interpersonal communications, which how do you understand people, and it's also consists with empathy and the ability to listen. So what I found out, and also in some of talks that we conducted in the American corner of OMA, every time we have this kind of talks, people are not listening. People were tending to showing off. They want to speak to, they want to get their stage to. So we conduct a coffee table kind of talk. We call it coffee talk, when every table they have like one host, then their visitors, then they were able to talk, and then the rest would be listen. And there was always someone who are cut off somebody when they talk. They don't know how to listen. So if we don't know how to listen to other people, how can we resolve that? But I think I found out that listening to others people is actually the first aid to mental health. Just like any kind of diseases, like biologically, like you got flu, for example. Like today I got a sore throat. having cold in Bromo. So cold. Never tried that before. It's intermezzo. Last night I was in anxiety. I was in a completely anxiety. My heart, palpitated because I have asthma. A week ago, my asthma relapsed, and I'm still having cough and then difficulty of breath. And I decided to go to Bromo. It was such an dangerous decisions ever I made. Really. And last night, I've been planning to go to Bromo, when I was in Jogja. And then when I, uh, down payment, all of the things, and I still, having doubt in myself, should I go, should I not go, should I go, should I not go, until in the middle of the night, should I go, should I not go, I'm really, am I gonna die tomorrow, and what, there's also like that doubt, is coming from you. And then I said, okay, I'm a doctor, I should be fine, and I have my medication with me, I have controller, I have reliever, I know what to do just in case of emergency. I can do now. I can pre-med and whatsoever. Yeah, I took medicine before I left for the Bromo. So as soon as I got there, we said, oh, we are here. And then it's like, oh, you should just, climb to the top of, and then there will be the sunrise spot and whatever. It will be cold there. Yeah, it will be like 10 degrees or whatever. Oh my gosh. Like I was like, should I go? Should I not go? Oh, I already there. I was like, should I go? Should I not go? Okay. I cannot waste the time. So let's do it. Like whatever happens, happens. And then I just let, God do the rest. And then there I am. Like I counting down, during along the way, I always check like the temperature in Bromo in Google. So I was always check like the lowest temperature is around like 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. So I keep looking at, my watch, and then looking like, if I pass to 6 a.m., I'm fine. And then like now the sunrise come up, and then it's 6 a.m. I'm fine. 7 a.m. We moved to 7 different spots. I'm fine. I'm here today. So it's just about anxiety. So that's an intermezzo. So we all have that, just like a flu, there's always a moment that your body, which not, immune enough to the response to the, your surroundings. As a person, we have this part of, we call it biopsychosocial, right? So that psychology is also a good profession. So biopsychosocial is something that makes human. If you're biological, you are not healthy, your social are not healthy, your psychology are not healthy. If your social are not healthy, if your surroundings like, make you stressed out, your physical were not healthy, your psychological not healthy. The same way, if you are psychologically not healthy, I'm not able to go to work, right? I'm not able to digest my food. I'm not able to talk to people, talk to my patient. So it's, equally important. There is nothing important. And it's the same way. If we know that there is someone like their primary help for the diseases like flu and that's that, there's also a primary help for the mental health and psychological issue. For example, if you were sad, you were broke up with your boyfriend last night, now you are gloomy, like you don't know exactly how you feel, like you used to be around him, you used to be talk to him, now suddenly he's gone, and you feel sad. And there's always 5 stages of grief, right? There's acceptance, and their acceptance is the last. There's like anger, whatever, until the acceptance. But at that moment, you need someone to talk to you and then listens to you, even if the person, that tell you anything what to do. But having someone just to listen to your thought, it's just the way that we actually have. So I think that listen to other people, it's really important. So I found out that there is a skill, it's called active listening skill. Okay, they do not interrupt it, they are listened and focused, they are focused on the problem. So these skills we need to teach first to mental health professionals and also medical health professionals, because they work. And I shock when I start working at the hospital in Jogja, in a setting of emergency, they thought emergency was about, for example, people having diabetes with hyperglycemia, people having heart attack, people having a stroke and whatever. That's emergency. They don't know the people who having suicidal thought about to kill themselves. It's also an emergency. In the United States, the people like that, they will come up to the emergency. They will took off all these clothes. They will be monitored for 24/7. Nothing's around him because everything is dangerous because they have a suicidal thought. Even such a small, pinch of like apa ya, jarum that can, use for to hurt themselves. So that's why in the United States they will taking care of really well. But in our case, in our setting in Indonesia, people came to the ER, they have some certain of like gasping, but we do know that people are gasping. We saw they were gasping for breath, and then we checked everything. We checked the oxygen saturation was good. We checked the lungs. There were no additional sounds. They were perfectly fine. And we do know these people having a problem, right? So most of the times in emergency care, they just left it. Like they given an oxygen, they left it. They don't taking care. I start to change it by myself. Like if I also follow the work that they're doing, I'm the same. How can I promote my own project if I'm not doing that, right? So every time the patient like that it come to the ER, might be my responsibility to taking care of people who are in emergency situation. That might not be emergency, but I'm not left out. I took my time whenever I'm free, whenever there's no too crowd in emergency, I came to their bed and talked to them. Most of the time, I could hear many things about family problems, as simple as they were not told that one of family members passing away a couple of weeks ago because they are studying here. There might be kepikiran atau anxiety, overthinking about stuff, and as simple as that until something like that boyfriend matters. But I think these people are. It sounds very okay, cliche and simple. Tapi if it get help, it will be just like a mountain, and then it will be erupted. So yeah, in 2021, back to there's so much stories. In 2021, I found myself that I wanted to do this, and then but I'm not yet prepared in terms of I do know how to deliver my my project. Will that be relevant to the YSEALi? Whether it's important to my community? Whether I could achieve that? I don't know how to compact it with a full package that people could buy it. The people who are YSEALi would buy my. So I would do that. So in 2023 and 2022 last year, I did that with the help of my directors, Miss Marika and Pak Putut. I always listens to them. I think they are as amazing as Buria. I heard so many good stories about Buria too. So I think that Buria could be a source of inspirations as well as my directors. So this is the lesson learned that I could bring back from all of the experience I have. First, knowing that who you are, you don't need to being a copycat of somebody else, just like I told you. Because I'm saying that because I was, right. So you don't need to be a copycat of somebody else's, and you just need to being true of being who you are and who you are. If you are an English education major, be who you are. But don't forget that outside of the English education, you are more than that. What can you do? What can you offer to your community? Like me, maybe like always people like always surprised, like why should I be different from other students? People always surprising when they met me in American Corner and ask me like, are you studying English or international relations too? No, I'm studying medicine. Like, why are you here? Like, why am I here volunteering? Like, people is always asking me that. Like, I found that American Corner was like sanctuary where I can be express, and they were very accommodate with whatever you are. Like I conducted debate in American Corner. I conducted the health talk. I conducted the psychological talk in American Corner. Free consultation from all of my colleagues. If they have something that a symptom, they contact me all the way. We always have that kind of talk in American Corner when we was just like supporting. Like we always like sit, for example, like after classes 4 p.m. we always like have 1 hour leisure before we close that we can sit, we can talk many things. We sometimes talk about international relations. People don't know that I actually assisting one of lectures in UMY for mata kuliah praktikum diplomasi. I'm not even in international relations, tapi aku jadi asdos di praktikum diplomasi. How's that? It was like, that's a crazy ride. Yeah, that's just my interest in international relations never fade away. The second lesson learned that I learned along the way is actually, what is your purpose? If your purpose is just going to America, leave the country like I do, you might not get a chance to, really exercise what you want. But if you finding your purpose, that you actually giving a lots of, benefits to your community, like my community, people with mental health, people who are left aside, people who are minority, they are very thankful because I have the power, I have the voice, I have the license, and I might change the entire system. If I'm just like be like them, people with mental health, but no bargaining position, and I'm trying to speak out, even if I scream, people never heard me. That's why I need to get into the system. I have a bargaining position. This is what I do. All right. The three is like, the third was like, what have you done? So this is really important in YSEALi. If you're just saying like, oh, I want to help, I have one friend who I always like, I want to help mental health people. I'm a depressed and that. What have you done? You need to show a little bit more of what you can offer and how do you start it, and then why this is matters and helping them. So, jadi kalau misalkan kayak apa ya, if you guys have the ideas but you just thought about it, never executed even just a little step, it will be like less point. You need to start over whatever thought and ideas you have. It doesn't matter, people think that that's silly or that will not be possible. Doesn't matter. What matter is that your purpose, is that your goal, is that you're who you are, and do it. Okay. Okay, this is how to prepare yourself. Preparing for YSEALi, most of the time we heard about like doing motivation later, like recommendation letter and stuff, but they don't think about this 4 point of view and how long it takes for me to learn of this 4. Since 2015 to 2022, 7 years. 7 years I learned how to make a SMART goal, how to compact my goals into something that really eye-catching packaging, and people could sell. I could sell that, people could buy it. SMART goal. We'll talk about SMART goal later. Have you heard about SMART goal? I believe you do, right? Right. Their second one is the branding. I don't know about branding. I learned from Mr. Putuch. He is like a lecturer with so much branding personnel. When someone like maybe Buria will be agree with me when we heard about his name, oh, Mr. Putut yang itu, people recognize you already, and that's what I do by telling my stories. People will having like some ideas instill in them, right? So now I was afraid, like my mom was always telling me like, the first person that I told like I'm having a suicidal thought, I'm trying to kill myself, is my mom first. And then my mom was always telling me like, don't tell it to people, don't too loud, and then don't show it to people. Like it'd be a shame of our family because you are studying medicines and then blah, 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 blah. You are someone that they look up to here in our kampung and whatever. And now you are want to kill yourself. Like, no, mom, by telling my own stories, make people inspired that we, no matter who we are just as vulnerable as human being. We have emotion. Even president, whoever we are having a emotion. So my branding is really, I wanted people remember me. I'm also a doctor, but I'm also having a personal problem about my health, especially in the mental health, and I'm working on it, working for myself, working to help other people too. So that's what people will remember. So when I start doing things, I start doing related to it. Like in American corner, I start a club called Psychological Club, where I teach people about how to contain their emotion, even if I'm, not as an expert, but I learn it for myself. So why not like sharing it to people? So I also doing my internship, I focus on my work on mental health and also educate people. So I conduct a lot of health talk in community. Kebetulan tuh my primary healthcare center atau puskesmasnya itu di lokasi, I'm sorry for that, di lokasi lokasi prostitusi di kalau di Jogja namanya Sarkem. I believe that you have heard about it. Jadi di Sarkem itu tempat prostitusi, itu di sekitar Malioboro lah istilahnya. Dan puskesmas kita wilayah kerjanya itu di situ gitu loh. Jadi and then di situ sebagai tempat lokalisasi, jadi kayak kantong, istilah kantong itu adalah banyak kasus-kasus HIV gitu-gitu. So aku benar-benar sangat tertantang gitu kan buat nge-educate, karena I love to speak, I love to make people understand, karena I know kayak it's difficult for medical professional, they don't know how to speak. And for me, now I learn and I have to use this ability to do good and to change people. So di situ aku belajar, akhirnya aku bikin tidak cuma sekedar counseling dan kayak ngasih health talk tentang HIV, tapi juga tentang kesehatan mental, bahkan sampai ke yang masyarakat tentang bagaimana mengatasi anak tantrum, bagaimana cara mengelola emosi di rumah tangga, hal-hal simple dan sepele yang close to our community lah, kayak gitu. That's what I focus on. Sampai researchku juga akhirnya aku menggabungkan dua concern ini, HIV and mental health. Aku bikin sebuah mini research selama aku di puskesmas. That's something like, again, it's, branding. Jadi kamu ngelakuin sesuatu tuh yang kayak satu ngerucut kayak this is who you really are gitu. Itu aku yang pelajari dari Pak Putut juga. Then communication, like I told you, I never speak like this before. I speak like Minang, blah, 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 blah. That's how Minangis talk. I pekamang, pekabari, like that. And people in Sumatra was talking like that. But in Jogja, no. People say, J, monggo. That's how I talk now, right? When I come back like, J, ma, mangang ko. Lama jadi Jawa lo kini. That's my mom, how my mom talk. Okay. My mom hates me if I speak like J, ma. My mom hate that. Like it's like I'm losing myself as a Minangis. And communication is really important. How you wanted to deliver. I still remember, like, I'm not trying to compare, but I'm trying to saying that how important communication is. Like there are 4 doctors in Puskesmas, but then the way that we deliver things is different, because we, as a speaker, most of us is thinking that we are speakers. We are the center of the universe. It's about me sometimes. And that's what I learned wrong. In the past, when I was in the second year of college, I thought, because I think I'm good in English, I thought that I will be showing off to, my college, make them insecure, make them like feel down and little. Like, look at even my international relations feels like, oh my God, she's medical students. Like, his English so good. Like, I like to do that to get recognition. But again, I learned that's a big mistake. When you wanted to speak, if you wanted to be a speaker, it's not about you. It's about your audience. What do you want to deliver? What do you want them to get out from this talk? And then when they leave the rooms, and then how do you they're going to remember what you are talking about? If you are talking always about you, which you're always talking about how good you are, how great, and how you make them feel very little. That's not how a good communication is, but it's about how you deliver it. So it's in Puskesmas, it's really challenge. My challenge was, how do I explain about hypertensions and diabetes and its relations, like why you should taking a medications for a lifetime? It's really hard because they are not my professor. If I presenting that, through my fellow, my professor, medical health professional, I'm going to be very easy. No hesitation, because everyone has the same level of understanding about what I'm saying. But in society, there is Pak Duko, there is bapak yang bekerja sebagai tukang beca, there is ibu-ibu rumah tangga, there is mbah-mbah, ya kan? Sometimes there were, variety of, people in our community. We can't just speak in one kind of language, but we can make, our presentation relatable to them. So I'm sometimes like using a method that, their daily life, and then try to analogy everything that I want to explain. Even like hypertension, aku analogikan kayak pipa di dalam botol aqua, bagaimana tekanan dan segala macam. I explained those kind of physics for mbah-mbah. And they was like, oh, ngaten nggih Pak Dokter ya. So I like, gitu. Jadi harus minum obat terus Pak Dokter. Nggih Bu gitu. Nah, something like that. Jadi kayak when they understood about what they are facing, what your audience needs to hear, that's process of communication. It doesn't take just one night. Doesn't one night. It takes years also for me. Like if someone like me who I love to showing off, I can be someone who are calm down, and I don't care people will not know about me. I don't care people will respect me, or I don't care. But when I speak to help elevate others, not to make them down. That's number 4 is network. Network is important. Now what I'm doing here in UMM is a networking, working along with you. I don't know, like after my YSEALi program, maybe now you hear about me now. Maybe after my YSEALi, I could come back, right, Maria? I could come back and tell you what happened in the United States and what I learned and how I, doing my project here and how I blah, 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 blah. I love to come back here. This is a networking. And then whenever you are going, you are building a network. So there will be a do and don'ts, and in the end of my presentation, I will tell you about later. And then I think that networking is something that you can do every time, but you cannot do if you are, this is too bad to say, like arrogant person, like you are thinking that you are the star. I've been very like such an honor to be in an UMM Malang, even if like I felt like I'm just like them, like my fellow volunteer right here, but they were taking care of me so well. Since I got here, since I'm in my train, they're asking me, do you need a place to sleep? Do you need accommodation? Do you need transportation? Do you need this? You need that? I said, no, I'm good. I'm fine. And I really respect that. I really, really appreciate that, the Amkor Malang have, tried to, welcome me in UMM. But for me, like I'm just like them. I don't need to be welcomed like wow, something like that, because we don't need that. All right, so I guess you all understand about networking. It's very common. And now we'll talk about the SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I'm not going to be too far because I think that you have a lot of answer to ask me later. So if I keep telling you stories, it's got bored. So specific, of course, you need to get specific. For example, like mine. Ini jadi contoh punya aku aja ya, karena I couldn't make any example out there. Kayak punya aku, I want to help people with mental health. So which part what I wanted to help? I want to help them to get the good care from medical health professional. And then caranya gimana? Caranya adalah dengan mengajari health professional how to have the skill of active listening, gitu. Specific about that, gitu. Terus measurable, how it's been measured. Jadi ada indikator tersendiri kalau misalkan kita bisa punya active listening, whether we are got the point seseorang itu mengalami apa, whether or not, gitu. Di ilmu psikiatri kita punya yang namanya, mungkin di ilmu psikologi juga ada ya, kita punya namanya adalah anamnesis psikiatri, kemudian pemeriksaan status mental, dan konseling psikiatri. Jadi kalau misalkan pemeriksaan dokter yang biasa, yang kasusnya medik gitu, penyakit gitu kan, kita anamnesis dulu, tanya keluhannya apa, terus kita lakukan pemeriksaan fisik, sama kan kita lakukan terapinya apa, obat-obatannya apa, terapi yang non obat-obatan apa. Sama kalau di dunia kedokteran jiwa, itu nanti akan ada, nanti ketemu pasien, ada anamnesis psikiatri, seputar keluhan psikiatrinya, kayak gitu, kurang tidur, kurang makan, tidak bisa tidur, bisa makan. cemas dan lalala. Terus nanti ada pemeriksaan status mental. Jadi kalau di psikiatri kan dia lebih abstrak kan, jadi kayak nggak bisa ini. Jadi kita pemeriksaan status mental berarti ada counseling gitu. Jadi ada indikator-indikator what we can measure. Terus whether it's achievable, of course it's achievable. What I'm doing, karena I work in a, aku juga kebetulan ngajar di UMY sebagai asdos di FK UMY. Jadi kayak I have the access towards the education institutions that I could like help, start beginning from the education level. Jadi aku bakal ngajar active listening itu ke mahasiswa FK-nya dulu. Gitu. Kalau aku mendobrakkan orang-orang yang sudah profesional, karena biasanya ego dan pride mereka kan tinggi ya. Jadi mereka akan kayak, apaan sih aku diajarin kayak begitu, kayak gitu nggak penting gitu kan. Di kerjaan tuh nggak kayak gitu. Apalagi orang-orang yang kerja di emergency setting ya, pasti mereka ngerasa kayak they pride about themselves. Terus makanya aku pikir kayak orang yang less pride adalah mahasiswa. Jadi aku ngajarin mahasiswa dulu. Dengan harapan kalau mereka mahasiswa diajarin, ntar ketika mereka menjadi seorang tenaga kesehatan, mereka akan lebih aware gitu. Karena mereka dapat ilmunya sebelumnya. Dan di-expose dengan hal itu. Kemudian relevant. Of course, it's relevant. It happens a lot. I believe some of you might, have, 1-2 moments of, down, ups and down. It's normal. And time bound itu adalah terikat sama waktu. Jadi kapan kamu mau mulai, kapan akhir, dan apa measure-nya nanti seperti apa gitu. So I think I'm not going to talk much about SMART. This is just trying to make example, but I think you already get that. So this is do and don'ts, what I want to leave you with. So always be a person with the glass half full. Kalau mau daftar YSEALi, always try to put yourself half full. Jadi kayak kalau half full itu kayak kamu mau ngisi itu masih bisa karena kamu masih punya isi, tapi mau nerima masih bisa karena kamu masih punya space gitu. Tapi kalau kamu datang ke YSEALi kayak kamu tuh, aku tuh adalah orang yang mengelola project A, B, C, D, aku tuh udah gini, terus YSEALi thinking like, kita mau bantu kamu apa? Kita mau kontribusi kamu udah bagus kok, kamu udah keren kok, gitu. Nggak ada bolong-bolongnya lagi. Jadi jangan terlalu yang ngoyo dan terlalu branding yang maksudnya kayak ya sebiril aja lah gitu. Memang ada orang yang udah bilang kurang gitu. Kayak aku sekarang, aku kebingungan kayak karena posisinya kan nggak semua orang aware sama mental health ya di kampus. Bingung aja gitu mau ngerekrut siapa nih buat gabung ke project ini gitu. Dan I haven't even start the big agenda gitu. Masih agenda kecil-kecil yang di American Corner gitu. Karena it takes the whole world for me to start something that I really passionate about gitu. Jadi nggak usah yang nguyo banget kayak oh kau menjelaskan di essay itu kayak aku udah ngelakuin ini itu kayak nggak perlu banget yang harus kayak sempurna. Nanti Wesley juga mikir kamu kalau udah sempurna mau aku apain lagi gitu. Kamu udah jalan sendiri aja udah bisa kok gitu. Nggak perlu Wesley kan gitu. Jadi jadilah glass half full gitu. Terus be authentic and be real. Jangan dibuat-buat, jangan jadi copycat kayak I was gitu ya. Terus be authentic aja. Siapa kamu, ini kamu. Kalau kamu bisa ngerasa kayak punya masalah di lingkungan dan menurutmu itu bukan cuma kamu sendiri dan kamu mau merubah itu dan kamu bisa merubah itu dan kamu punya kapabilitas dan punya space platform buat merubah itu, why not do it? Kayak gitu loh. Doesn't matter what people are saying. What doesn't matter what people are saying like, oh that's silly, itu bukan hal yang besar. Okay? As long as you have concern, start doing that. And last one is be persistent. If I give up on my 2017, the first attempt, I will not be get accepted. I will not be learned in 2019. If I give up in 2019, I will not knowing what to package in 2021. If I'm not get accepted, in 2023 because that I've been persistent enough gitu. So long story short, that jadi aku nggak kepikiran lagi nih YSEALi. I already totally give up in 2021. I always dream to be part of YSEALi. In 2021, I turning 26. Yeah, I'm turning 26, but the age minimum for academic fellow it's 25. So I thought like this is the end of everything. I'm not gonna be part of YSEALi. I shut that down, and then till on May 2020, I joined the conference with American Spaces, ketemu Buria dan lain-lain. So I got motivations like on fire. Ketemu Bu Endang juga dari My America, then she sat next to me, we are on the same table karena kita di set buat gonta-ganti pasangan ya Buria ya. So and one time aku duduk sama Bu Endang and she was asking me, Emir coba YSEALi kan? Sudah Bu Endang gitu. Mau coba lagi nggak? Wah kayaknya udah nggak cukup Bu Endang, saya sudah 26 tahun. Coba yang profesional aja. Kayaknya nggak bisa. Saya medical Bu Endang. Kadang-kadang yang medical tuh susah buat diterimanya. Gak apa-apa, coba aja. And then I was like, that talk, between me and Bu Endang, it's still in me, When YSEALi opened and I talked to Mr. Putut, sir, should I go? Should I not? Should I go? Should I not? And so, but give it a try. Yeah, maybe it's yours. Like I'm still young. I'm 27. I'm 26. Like not even 27 yet. And then there's age, for professional is 26 to 35. So I'm very young when it comes to professional, but I'm very old when it comes to academic fellow, right? So I was like insecure lah, kayak yang ikut tahun lalu adalah kayak yang dari Unan ya, Buria ya, Kak Ola itu dosen, jadi dia umurnya udah 30-an lebih ya, pasti Kak Ola ya. Dan aku insecure, what am I doing? Like 26 years old, try to get a professional fellow program. I have a big insecure in myself. Terus akhirnya Serput bilang kayak just go, and then suddenly Bu Endang contacted me, kayak mereka mau bikin YSEALi roadshow gitulah, kayak jadi milih moderatornya gitu. Nawarin aku dulu nih jadi moderatornya. Di situ aku pelajarin semua tentang YSEALi, bagaimana nanti aku moderatingnya supaya deliver semua apa yang disampaikan dan segala macam, nanya dan segala macam. Terus then I got all the point I need karena aku nge-moderating. Terus ketika aku bikin essay, bikin apa, it's so much easier. Tapi ada juga masalahnya adalah aku punya doubt gitu, punya doubt. H-3 sebelum penutupan, aku telepon direkturku, aku tanya, aku sambil nangis-nangis, sir, kayak this is not my thing, this is not me, maybe this is just not meant for me. I don't know, it's just like something that I could do, kayak something like that. Kayak bahkan aku sambil nangis, terus hari berikutnya aku bilang Miss Mariska, kalau misalkan Miss Mariska belum menyelesaikan recommendation letternya, udah Miss nggak usah, nggak apa-apa, Emir nggak jadi batal buat ikut gitu. H-1, Serput bilang lagi, no Emir, you should go. Bahkan esaiku aja belum selesai. Dan H-1 itu, I put my hard work menyelesaikan semua essay itu essay itu, even if people saying like membuat essay itu harus berhari-hari, ya memang itu betul berhari-hari, tapi kalau orang yang sudah tahu who they really are and they're being authentic, be themselves, and then they don't need days and they could tell them already siapa mereka gitu loh, in hundred of words of in a paper. Jadi dalam satu malam itu aku menyelesaikan semua 3 esai dan aku benar-benar last minute kayak 5 last minutes itu close, semua application ku done. Kayak at that moment I was like, maybe this is not mine, maybe this is me, maybe I don't know. And then on November I got the notification I heading to the interview. Aku berkecamuk lagi kan. Aduh, I'm preparing for interview. What should I say? And blah blah blah. Ya udah, say what you are actually doing. Aku ceritain tentang pengalamanku di puskesmas, karena it's very close to me. Terus aku juga punya experience myself sebagai orang yang survive in mental health. So something that I can bring that. Ketika mereka kan itu kan udah shortlisted ya kalau di interview ya. Mereka cuma tinggal milih kayak yang orang ini memang harus berangkat, yang ini. Bahkan yang di sebelum yang waktu YSEALi Roadshow yang aku jadi moderator itu, kunci utamanya adalah satu katanya, yang Kak Putra itu. Kunci gimana orang-orang panitia YSEALi itu remember kalau misalkan nyebut nama, misal katakanlah si Tika. Oh, si Tika tuh yang itu. Gitu. Tanpa mereka kayak baca lagi punyamu tuh mereka tuh ingat gitu. Nah, itu yang mencoba aku bangun ketika aku di interview YSEALi. Aku benar-benar yang ngerucutkan bahwasanya this is Emir, orang dokter yang surviving in mental health dan punya isu sendiri dan mau ngelakuin sesuatu. Dan aku bilang kedepannya gimana aku mau ngerubah ini dengan cara aku terjun langsung ke dalam sistem gitu loh. I'm the one who are making the system, making change. Kalau aku berkuar-kuar aja nggak bisa. That's why I need YSEALi program. Gitu. I need a bargaining position for me gitu. Jadi mungkin I don't know, something yang mereka akan catch up dan mereka akan ingat. Terus mereka akan oke, yang kamu berangkat gitu. So that's my experience. Things that you don't have to do, first comparing yourself. I comparing myself like dari kita punya volunteer itu dari zaman aku 2015 yang berangkat YSEALi ada 1, 2, 3, 4. Banyak banget. Gitulah. Jadi dan mereka tuh yang dulu pas zaman aku S1 yang ngerasa kayak dia biasa aja, dia biasa aja. Kayak punya gitu loh, kayak this is a bad attitude. Tapi ketika aku ngeliat, wah ternyata dia brilian banget gitu. Yang dia cuman nggak terpoles aja. Dan sekarang mereka adalah orang-orang yang brilian-brilian yang wah udah di luar negeri sana, dan aku still di Jogja gitu loh. Dan aku ngeliatnya, oh nggak perlu comparing aja. Maksudnya kayak kamu berlian, ya orang lain juga berlian gitu lah. Cuman just waiting for times. Kayak teman-teman di sini, mungkin saat ini teman-teman di sini sebagai mahasiswa, volunteer, apa-apa. Maybe you will come back dengan title yang lebih bagus dan segala macam. It's just, wait for your time, wait for your moment. Wait for your moment. Aku salah satu representatif juga dari US Embassy waktu itu. Aku tanya kayak kenapa aku tidak pernah diterima di program-programnya US Embassy kayak gitu. Terus dia cuma jawab gini, maybe this is not your time, wait for the moment, katanya gitu. Aku daftar ini nggak keterima, aku daftar ini nggak keterima, apa kurangnya di mana gitu. Aku sampai yang kayak sedesperate itu nanya gitu. Terus dia cuma bilang kayak wait for your time, Emir, kayak gitu. It doesn't have to be answer in one night, just wait for your moment. And maybe this is my moment, I don't know, right? So the last one, don't be afraid to try. I did. Like kayak bahkan yang ini aku terima aja, H-1 aku masih gundah. Nah, gitu ya. Because I'm too afraid to try. If I tell myself, if I could go back last year and just to speak to Emir last year version, I would say, don't give up, Emir. Like, don't be afraid. Just go. You will get where you want one day. So that's all my experience in YSEALi. I hope that this is just the beginning, and I hope if I already done my intern in US, I will be come back to Malang, maybe possible, and I will share it to you. I will tell you what exactly you need to do to prepare yourself for YSEALi next time. So my name is Emir Gimlang. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Emir. So very brilliant presentation, very insightful. So rather than giving us with lots of motivation letter, recommendation letter, you give us what to pack in that letters, right? So you have to remember the SMART goal and the branding. I like the branding a lot. Like, you're so young, but you have a mind about like a very experienced professor. You understand like how to pack yourself and how to listen to the others and everything. Okay, so for question and answer session, please. If any of you, boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia, boleh pakai bahasa Inggris, silahkan. And I think whatever Emir presented just now does not only apply for the YSEALi, I guess. So anytime you apply for any scholarship, I bet they will look for the same. So sometimes when you write down your application for a scholarship, put yourself in the situation of the judges. So suppose you're the judges, what do you want to see from those people? And present yourself like that. That will help a lot. Ya, oke. Silakan yang ada pertanyaan, boleh tentang apapun ya. Oh boleh dulu. Because yeah, I heard it. Silakan Diana, please. Enggak apa-apa dulu aja.
Ya, silakan.
Apa nih? Ada banget.
Sebelumnya makasih Kak Emir buat presentasinya, sangat menginspirasi dan setuju banget sama masih muda tapi ini bagus banget. Saya agak penasaran, emang penasaran sama program yang bakalan Kak Emir jalanin YSEALi tapi dalam program profesionalnya itu mungkin Kak Emir bisa jelaskan lebih itu seperti apa gitu. Kita yang bisa join untuk yang program itu kalau emang umurnya udah ini gitu. Itu aja. Makasih. Iya, yang mau join ini ya tentang profesional apa namanya? Ya itu. Ya, mungkin lebih spesifiknya kayak gimana, itu nanti bentuknya gimana, di sana apa dan segala macam. Tuh, makasih ya Kak.
Dikumpulin dulu sampai 3 pertanyaan. Okay, 2 more questions please. Kalau ada lagi pertanyaan silakan. Sylvia.
Baik, thank you for the opportunity, Ms. Ria and Emir. And here I am, my name is Sylvie. I wanted to ask because actually one of the difficult thing about YSEALi is that we have to find another partner, right? I think the minimum person are 3, right, for a group project in YSEALi. Sometimes it is harder to find a partner for this project, because sometimes when I try to give motivation to my friends, yeah, let's join YSEALi, this is fine, and we can do some sustainable development to our country, right, to our future generations too. But then we only have it at the front. I don't know how to keep it continuously. I mean, like, those friends are usually like hot at the front, you know. I mean, like, semangatnya di depan doang. So it is harder to find another partner, especially in this era, because most young generation right now, they are so focused in TikToks and all those, applications. We are mostly glued to the phone, to the phone screen. So it is hard for me in that aspect, and I'm getting a challenge to find what am I, who I really was, and what am I going to do, because yeah, that's one of the thing. Like, what aspect should I get into? How to find myself? How to find my reality? What am I actually is? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sylvie. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, the last question, please. Yes.
Okay, so my name is Alma Kanita, and I'm one of the volunteer of American Corner UMM. My question is, at first you already mentioned about how active learning and active listening is a key factor in order to understand about what people think and to communicate with the other audience. And I think it will reflect on your essay, especially on your writing, right? So, but the point is, but I think that sometimes we also struggle to communicate and keep and maintain our energy while communicating with other people. So, how do you cope with that? And how do you communicate your thought without actually feeling drained by talking with other people in order to build your communication skill, your active learning skill, and also practicing your skills. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alma. Okay, so 3 questions. Let me sum it up ya. Yang pertama dari Diana. So, sorry, I forget jadinya. Oh, tadi Diana, sorry. Oh yeah, the project, yeah. The details of your program proposal. And the second from Sylvie about finding partners and also maintain the spirit during the project. And then the last, Alma, it's almost the same, yeah. How to maintain your big energy while you're practicing active learning, active listening, and also just to show your skill. Karena kalau kita active listening terus kan, how people can know that we can do that. Okay, so please silakan Emir.
Okay, all of those questions is really out of the box. Like, I can tell that you guys is really brilliant by just judged by your questions. I applaud by that, and astonishing questions. First of all, about my projects, I can't tell you the detail yet because I haven't start everything. I have the idea and all of those funding coming up. And my idea was about, it's called Telinga Hati. Jadi kalau kalian punya Instagram ada kok seragamnya @telinga-hati, but it's still empty. But we're about to start and getting soon. Telinga Hati, it's but judging by its name, telinga and hati, how we hear, we listen with our heart. So our tagline is listen with heart. Jadi telinga hati itu nanti kita akan mengajarkan orang-orang bagaimana cara belajar active listening skill. We focus on college students karena mostly di lingkungan kita, ada lingkunganku adalah kebanyakan adalah mereka students ya, mahasiswa, terus juga yang punya problem hal-hal kayak gini tuh pasti banyaknya mahasiswa juga nih saat ini karena di lingkunganku, dan mereka memang kan dengan pressure dari educational institution yang sekarang mungkin kayak yang dibilang sama Sylvie tadi bahwa anak-anak glue to the phone screens kayak gitu, bener juga karena mereka meninggalkan kayak what actually they have to do to mengejar hal-hal yang berbau kayak social currency ya, kayak getting likes, getting comments gitu. Kita kan social currency ya, wah komenku sekian, viewku sekian gitu-gitu. Karena fokus ke situ daripada mereka kayak achieve into themselves. So my project fokus on mahasiswa dulu. Jadi kemarin itu awalnya kita mau bikin itu karena kita harus include people with differently difable people. Jadi kayak kita juga include yang orang-orang yang people who have hearing loss, people who have problem with sight, people who have in wheelchair or something like that. Kita juga harus include itu karena mereka juga sometimes adalah orang-orang yang margin gitu lah, yang marginal community yang mereka juga kadang tidak didengar, mereka tuh butuhnya apa gitu. Jadi merely kita mau helping people who are in minority supaya mereka tuh bisa didengar, supaya kita orang-orang kayak kita ini bisa mendengarkan mereka what they actually needs, just not to be tolerated but to provide what they need kayak gitu. Nah, programnya itu nanti akan ngajarin hal-hal yang kayak gitu, nanti akan mengundang mereka juga. Mostly kita akan fokus on American Corner UMY dulu, but karena there's always like, collaborations coming up. Aku bahkan udah pernah bicara tentang ini ya ke Bu Ria sebelumnya. Sama Bu Rosi juga di My America Jakarta juga pernah ngobrol-ngobrol. Ini bisa diekstensifkan nanti kalau misalkan this project it will be succeed, kita bisa extend ke Amkor Malang, kita ajarin anak-anak UM dan segala macam. Kita datangkan kayak profesional, kayak psychiatry, psychology, profesional kayak gitu. So stay tuned and I will tell you the detail and yeah, you can intip-intip lah Instagram kita @telinga-hati, even if masih kosong gitu ya. Thank you Mbak Diana for the questions. And for Sylvie, your question is about how to finding a partner for YSEALi projects and how to finding who you truly are. First of all, I do understand that the YSEALi that you are applying to, it's YSEALi yang kayak bukan academic fellow ya, bukan YSEALi professional fellow juga. Pasti yang kayak seats for the future, kayak sustainable woman, yang segala macam itu kan banyak ya, YSEALi banyak banget cabangnya. Nah itu kan kadang in groups ya, in group of people. Karena memang it's not easy. Kalau misalkan buat menjelaskan bagaimana cara finding a partner, I also have the same problem with you. I also having a difficulty to trust people whether the persons like have the same idea just like me or whether they are passionate about the same thing like I do. And it's really hard and not all people can engage with what we think. And sometimes mungkin adalah we need to adjusting by not hiring people to be your team and doing your way. Maybe start with like hiring people, what do you think? So you not doing it your way and hiring people, you actually in groups like their brain, your brain, which combined together and they will start to feel like they are belongs to the project that you are going to have. Karena ketika kamu merasa kayak, yuk kita bikin ini yuk, kamu mengajak mereka. Tapi kalau kamu starting with questions like, menurutmu gimana tentang ini? Kamu punya ide apa? Kayak kamu punya ide enggak gitu? Jadi kalau kamu kayak menginvolvekan mereka untuk itu, maybe they will, see it in different way. I don't know because I never experienced myself, but that's just my point of view. Tapi kalau misal in YSEALi Academic and Professional Fellow, itu you don't need a partner. Ya, tapi you need a great platform. Kayak aku didukung banget sama Miss Mariska di American Corner UMY, bahkan tuh proyekku tuh bisa diri sendiri, tapi supaya kita naik dua-duanya nih, kan aku anak Amkor UMY, supaya proyekku tuh Telinga Hati itu tidak menggaung seperti, misalnya tidak yang project yang tiba-tiba baru muncul, tiba-tiba mau daftar YSEALi kan kayak gitu juga. Tapi kan kita sudah bangun itu mulai dari Cyclopnya Amkor UMY. Jadi project itu beriringan. Ibarat kata tuh Telinga Hati itu adalah project yang dibuat oleh Amkor UMY yang aku yang menginisiasi gitu. Jadi yang naik itu bukan hanya aku sendiri. It's just will be ego kalau aku yang mau naik sendiri gitu loh. Jadi aku mau kayak elevate Amkor UMY juga. Kalaupun it sukses kan, Karena aku lahirnya dari Amkor UMY gitu. Jadi naik bareng-bareng gitu. Kayak kamu tadi, misal kamu mau naik gitu, kamu jangan cuma sekedar pengen jadi kayak aku adalah the founder of apa. Kan banyak banget tuh teman-teman sekarang pengen jadi founder, tapi ya gitulah, mereka nggak tahu mereka yang mau bangun apa gitu. Sama kayak aku kayak gitu kan. Aku nggak pernah terpikir aku mau jadi founder apa, dan aku pun bangun ini tuh karena I just wanted to help people, dan aku ngerasain sendiri gitu loh. I'm experience it first hand myself sebagai seorang yang mengantri di depan polisi psikiatri menunggu obat gitu-gitu. I experience myself. Jadi itu kayak ya I should do something gitu. Just not because kalau aku mau jadi founder, tapi kalau misalkan Sylvie memang kesusahan di situ, mungkin advice-ku mungkin bisa dicoba gitu dengan cara kayak get engaged with your friends and then ask them about their point of view and then how you brainstorm and communicate your idea and thoughts gitu. I hope it helps ya. Thank you. Terus tentang Alma tadi, questions about how do you listen to other people, not just bragging yourself to their stories and then crying out with them, right? Jadi begini, active listening skill ini beda ya sama dengan mendengarkan curhat. Jadi kalau misalkan active listening, ya sebenarnya konsepnya sama, kita dengerin curhat. Tapi bedanya adalah kalau curhat itu kan kalau kadang-kadang kita, iya kamu tinggalin aja pacarmu itu gini-gini. Kita sok-sok memberi suggest gitu ya. Yang tujuannya apa? Kita hanya memenangkan hati yang orang yang curhat ke kita. Benar nggak? Nah, it's something yang wrong. Apakah kita juga harus mengencounter juga? Nggak juga. Mendengarkan, cukup mendengarkan. Nanti kalau misalkan dia sudah selesai, dia akan memikirkan itu sendiri. Pun kita kasih suggest, kamu akan tinggal. Pernah kan teman-teman kayak, tinggalin aja pacar, udah kamu nggak usah bimbingan sama dosen itu lagi, pokoknya ganti dosen aja gitu, bla bla bla. Ujung-ujungnya dia nggak ganti dosen. Terus kamu pasti kecewa kan? Kamu sih dibilangin putusin aja pacarmu, kamu masih juga sama dia. Lagi-lagi, jadi kita sendiri yang mangkal dan sakit hati. Kita tidak menerapkan apa yang namanya active listening. Kalau kita mau orang itu berpikir seperti kita, mereka in positions yang mereka full of emotion. Secara medis, orang dengan full emotion, jadi di kepala kita itu ada sistem limbik namanya, sistem yang mengelola tentang emotion, ada juga bagian logika. Gitu. Ketika limbik itu sudah aktif secara sepenuhnya, si logika tidak akan jalan. Gitu. Orang tidak akan membuat decision yang akan sangat-sangat bagus ketika mereka dalam posisi emotion. Emotion itu nggak cuma marah ya, sedih itu juga emotion. Makanya ada quotes bilang bahwasanya, don't make a promise when you are too happy, or don't make a decision if you are too sad. Karena those moments, promise yang kamu buat itu tidak mengukur kemampuan kamu, dan decision yang kamu buat juga tidak mengukur apa efek dampak panjangnya. Gitu. Jadi emotion itu kayak gitu. Jadi pun kamu dengan orang yang bercerita dengan kamu, curhat dengan kamu, terus kamu kasih advices, kamu kasih ini itu, mereka nggak akan dengerin, because that's not what they need. They need to be listened. Gitu. They need to be confirm apa yang dia rasain. Jadi beda ya, confirm apa yang terjadi sama dia sama confirm apa yang dia rasain. Misalnya ya, si Sylvie datang terus bilang dia habis putus sama aku, terus sedih banget gini. Terus kita confirm apa yang terjadi, terus pacarnya kan selingkuh nih misalkan, bla 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 bla. Terus kita confirm nih, kok aku ngomongnya masalah contohnya pacar terus ya, kayak nggak ada bahan lain, kayak personal experience gitu. Padahal jomblo juga. Terus jadi kan gitu kan, terus pacarnya selingkuh, terus kamu sebagai teman yang mendengarkan, pasti kamu akan kadang-kadang, bukan pasti sih, kadang-kadang kita lebih fokus sama mengkonfirmasi apa yang dia alami gitu loh. Oh iya memang pacarmu tuh emang dari awal tuh suka selingkuh, dia aja dekatin si ini juga loh, dia chatin di sini juga, kamu kan tahu dari mana? Iya, akhirnya dia membenarkan dirinya gitu loh. Membenarkan apa-apa spekulasinya dia, padahal itu juga belum tentu true, dan kamu pun itu pun spekulasi, siapa tahu dia ngechat si A karena dia mau minjem tugas, gitu ya. Itu kan juga asumsi kamu. Nah, kita nggak boleh jadi orang toksik kalau kita mendengarkan curhatan teman. What we need is actually confirm their feelings. Misal Sylvie datang nih, Sylvie sedih ya. Oh iya, pasti sedih ya Sylvie ya gitu. Udah bertahun-tahun gini, pasti aku bisa juga ngerasain apa yang Sylvie rasain. Sedih banget pasti. Sekarang Sylvie mau ngapain gitu. Tanya balik ke dia. Jadi mendengarkan active listening itu bukan kita yang ngasih, kamu harusnya gini aja, enggak. Kita tanya, sekarang Sylvie mau ngapain? Gitu. Ya, aku tuh mau gini. Gitu nggak, Sylvie kalau curhat gitu nggak?
Pengalaman pribadi.
Sambil seduh-seduh.
Membahayakan sekali ya, Dok.
Ya gini lah kalau aku kasih penyuluhan.
Oh, gitu. Oke. Berarti kita mbah-mbahnya.
Oh, nambah.
Oke.
Terus kayak pasti kan kayak gitu kan. Pasti dia akan bilang dia kemauan dia apa. Terus kita akan tanya lagi, apakah itu yang Sylvie mau? Apakah itu yang terbaik buat Sylvie? Dia akan pasti mikir lagi. Nah, gitu active listening. Jadi kalau kita memposisikan diri kita kayak gitu, kita tidak akan sucking on their stories dan kita tidak akan merenggut semua emotional dan mental state kita. Gitu. Makanya di kedokteran itu ada dua hal, sympathy and empathy berbeda. Kalau simpati adalah ketika kita mendengarkan curhat orang itu, kita ikut terlibat dan menangisi apa yang terjadi di orang itu. Terus kalau misal empati, kita ikut mendengarkan, mengiyakan, menginikan, tapi kita tidak ikut terlibat dalam emosi dia. Makanya dokter harus butuh empati daripada simpati. Well, kalau bilang simpati, aku juga berkali-kali nangis ketika aku jaga bangsal nih ya. Terus misalkan ada pasien yang misalkan pas jaga IGD itu aku yang masukin dia rawat inap gitu ya. Terus aku yang ngekonsulin, aku yang masukin bangsal, aku juga yang nge-follow up berhari-hari gitu kan. Terus pokoknya tetek bengek dari pasien itu aku yang ngurus gitu lah. Sampai di ketika dia udah nggak bisa lagi gitu, sudah waktu ajalnya dijemput gitu. Dan aku juga yang EKG, yang meriksa dan bikin surat kematian. Itu di dalam hatiku berderai-derai air mata ketika aku harus bilang ke keluarganya, Bapak, Ibu, mohon maaf, Ibu sudah tidak bersama kita gitu. Saya turut berbela-sungkawa, inilah wa inna ilaihi raji'un gitu-gitu. Itu aku dalam hati itu kayak berkecamuk kayak gitu. Kenapa? Aku ngerasa gagal jadi seorang dokter. I fail gitu. Karena pasien meninggal gitu kan. Harusnya I can do better. I can do something else gitu. Tapi should I crying in front of their families? Get involved with their sadness? I should trying to not to involve gitu. Even if deep down ketika ketemu pasien yang udah baru berusia 26 tahun kena kanker darah, I felt shocked karena I'm 27. If it happens to me, I don't know how I face the world. Gitu kan. I was just like, kembali ke belakang, terus just cry a little bit and then go back and do my work. Gitu. Enggak di depan mereka. Of course, it's sucking it out. Makanya kita harus benar-benar mengelola empati dan simpati itu. Jadi gitu ya Alma ya. Kalau misalkan Alma mendengarkan cerita, terus curhatan dari teman-teman, nggak usah yang terlalu, maksudnya sucking in their stories, terus kayak mengkonfirmasi kejadiannya, tapi fokus ke emotion yang dia punya. Nah itu active listening skill tuh begitu. Dan someone yang you help out untuk mendengarkan, itu akan merasa sangat terbantu. Gitu. Thank you.
Okay, does it answer your question, Alma? Yeah. Jadi kalau kita empati aja bisa menghemat energi itu tadi juga ya kan, kita nggak ikut mikir ini solusinya gimana kayak gitu. Oke, more questions please. Kayaknya masih ada waktu ya. Silakan yang mau nanya lagi. Konsul gratis bersama Pak Dokter ya sekalian. Boleh banget. Saya sudah kok kirim-kirim foto juga. Oke, silakan yang ada pertanyaan please. Yes, silakan. Ini jurusan psikologi ya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Diahlian dari Nurmaulida. Usually people call me Lian. I am from psychology major. Right now in 4th semester. I will speak in bahasa. Jadi saya punya pertanyaan yang ini juga sebenarnya based on experience. Jadi saya punya teman di kelas. Dari semester 1 saya sudah sedikit melakukan observasi terhadap dia. Jadi dan saya menemukan sampai semester 4 ini ketika dia masuk ke kelas, dia itu gemetar, gugup, dan pandangannya itu tersebar ke satu ruangan. Dan tadi kan kakak sempat bahas soal active listening, dan tadi saya kepikiran dan saya pernah kepikiran untuk setidaknya berusaha untuk teman saya ini, saya ingin setidaknya mendengar apakah dia ada masalah terkait komunikasi atau hubungan dengan orang lain. Tapi yang menjadi tantangan bagi saya untuk mendekatinya sampai sekarang itu adalah dia avoid people. Dia tidak mau terlalu dekat dengan orang. Bahkan ketika sudah diajak omong, ketika saya menggunakan intonasi yang rendah dan tidak menggunakan intonasi yang tinggi untuk menghindari supaya dia tidak kaget juga, tapi dia tetap diam seperti itu. Jadi apa ya, sampai sekarang itu saya sebenarnya ingin reach out gitu, tapi bagaimana caranya gitu kalau orangnya sendiri avoid people gitu. Terima kasih.
This is a very long apa ya, but our community, our oh yeah, my face there. There is a root of problem of the situations when we saw a person's, our friends, our families that having an issues are not able to reach out to other people. It's not because they don't want to, it's because they don't know how to. Karena mostly kayak we were told that kayak menyimpan segalanya itu adalah emas gitu loh. Jadi sometimes kita avoiding people just to make sure that people don't know exactly what we are facing. Tapi aku juga punya salah satu experience juga nih. Karena ketika kita melihat orang di sekitar kita itu having a problem, kita tidak boleh langsung datang dan nanya, kamu ada masalah apa? That's a not wise decision ya, action juga. Ketika orang punya masalah, kita bisa smell that these people having an issues kayak gitu. We don't ask them, kamu punya masalah apa sih kayak gitu. You ask how they are. Are you okay? Or they will be saying like, oh, I'm fine kayak gitu. Okay, good. Next day, are you okay today? Okay, I'm fine. Next day, try again. Are you okay? Kayak gitu kan. Terus dia mulai kayak ngerasa kayak I'm not okay nih gitu. Terus kayak dia akan mulai merasa kayak dia udah mulai lama nih jawabnya, kayak I'm fine-nya jangan lama jawabnya. Karena dia mikir kayak not okay actually, tapi kayak aku ditanya I'm okay or not. Terus kamu boleh di situ bilang kayak if you have anything, you can talk to me. Gitu. Jadi kamu kayak allowing, tapi kalau kamu menohok dengan kayak kamu punya masalah apa? It's like you force, kayak kamu punya pintu, kayak kita tuh adalah seorang pribadi tuh yang punya pintu sanctuary kamar gitu. Ketika kita melakukan nanya, are you okay? Kita ngetok pintu. Dia akan bilang dari dalam, nggak apa-apa gitu. Tapi kalau kamu punya masalah apa itu kamu mendobrak, kamu pengen tahu insight itu apa gitu. Itu nggak boleh. Dan salah satu cara adalah kayak allowing people kayak tahu bahwasannya bikin merasa bahwasannya kamu ada dulu buat dia gitu. Kalau kamu butuh apa-apa bilang ya. Kalau kamu ada yang diceritain nggak apa-apa gitu. Aku santai kok gitu. Nah, membuat dia feeling kayak kamu ada buat dia dulu. Nanti trust itu akan muncul sendiri. Jadi nggak usah dipaksain. Di 1-2 encounter kamu pengen bantu dia. I know that you have a very kind-hearted, kamu mau nolong dia. Tapi we need to see dia juga dalam kondisi seperti itu. Dia juga lagi ngebatasi diri, nggak mau kamu mau dobrak kamu walaupun niatnya baik. Kadang aku tuh niatnya baik kok, ya emang kamu niatnya baik tapi caramu salah ya nggak sama aja bohong gitu, nggak akan nyelesain masalah gitu. Nah caranya kayak gitu, diganti cara approach-nya. Terus yang paling bagus tadi adalah ketika kamu sudah merasa nyaman, dia akan datang ke kamu, dia akan ngetuk pintumu. Apa tahu dia akan bukain pintunya dia, terus bilang kayak gitu. Misal tadi Lian, aku boleh cerita nggak? Nah, that moment dia sudah membuka dirinya, kamu mau bilang sesuatu, mau semangatin dia terima. Dibanding kamu kayak dia punya masalah, terus kamu ada masalah apa sih? Terus dia belum ngomong nih, kamu menerka-nerka mungkin dia ada masalah sama keluarganya, oh mungkin dia habis berantem sama si Sylvie gitu kan, Sylvie mulu nih. Dia mungkin habis berantem sama si Sylvie, oh pasti kamu langsung bilang gitu karena ini based on your assumption kan. Kamu habis berantem ya sama si Sylvie, gak apa-apa kok, Sylvie tuh emang kayak gitu orangnya gini gitu kan, misalkan gitu. Nah dia akan sangat merasa tidak nyaman lagi karena belum tentu masalah itu menjadi sesuatu yang concern, mungkin dia punya masalah lain. Nah makanya kita sebagai yang mau bantu itu kita menghindari judgment dan asumsi dulu. Gitu. Makanya listen with your heart itu kita tidak buat judgment assumption, dengerin dulu kira-kira ada lagi nggak masalahnya dan nggak. Dengan kita dengerin, nggak motong, nggak berasumsi, kita akan dapat lebih banyak informasi dibanding kita sok-sok tahu. Gitu. Itu ya, kalau saranku sih gitu caranya. Jadi don't knock her door and let her recognize you and then knock on your door atau open it for you. Gitu. That's it.
Alright, thank you for the answer.
Yeah. Wow, very fruitful discussion.
Kalau ada yang mau nanya lagi boleh langsung di DM aja ya. Boleh follow Instagramnya.
Udah ada tenure.
Right, okay. Udah. Oh, saya takut pegang ini. Tadinya sebelum right. Sebenarnya saya punya pertanyaan dok, tapi nanti aja karena ini very closely. Nggak apa Mas Fauzi, langsung aja. Mungkin bisa dijawab besok-besok karena kalau masalah ngobrol communication itu dekat sekali dengan paliatif ya. Ya, and that is the itu ranah kedokteran yang jarang sekali kalau di Indonesia masih sangat tabu gitu. So siapa lagi nih yang dapat tadi? Alma Semalian nggak usah ya, karena volunteer dia udah punya. Right, okay. Ini mau foto bareng. Ini bentuknya kayak yang di UMY nggak? Oh, masa? Aduh, tak cariin yang lain ntar. Udah lah, nggak apa-apa.
Beda dong dari Malang sama dari UMY.
Iya beda.
Walaupun cuma tinggal ambil udang, disinta ya gitu.
Oke, udah ini nggak ada pertanyaan lagi, right? Okay, so yeah, let me summarize today. Jadi itu tadi ya, harus diingat-ingat banget your SMART goal, and then you have to brand yourself, and then networking, and also do not do the copycat ya. Just be yourself, be authentic, and then recognize your fault and everything. Be helpful. Itu sih yang paling menjual karena selama ini kita hanya diajari bahwa present yourself as good as possible sehingga kamu diterima gitu. Padahal kalau orang udah bisa ya ngapain kita bantu dia lagi, be helpful itu tadi. Lalu mind your age, usia juga jangan sampai kelewatan. Nah kayak saya ini tuh 37 tuh udah mau akademik profesional udah lewat semua. So you can try everything, academic, professional, seed, YSEALi dan semuanya masih terbuka gitu ya. Let's give a plus once again untuk KM. Thank you very much. Ayo kita foto bareng semuanya. Yuk. Silakan di tengah. Oh ini foto penyerahan dulu apa gimana? Kamu langsung foto bareng? Oh penyerahan dulu. Biar ini biar dokumentasi. Oke. Oke, yuk foto bareng sini semuanya. Cukup nggak ini? Apa ada yang harus jongkok-jongkok di depan? Oh diam aja, dia nggak nanya tadi, lupa ya.
Hai Topan, hai teman-teman yang di Amper UMY.
Halo teman-teman di Amper
semuanya.
Kita kan banget gitu, tapi ntar kalau enggak aku malu.
Kita foto dulu ya.
Kita foto dulu ya.
Mbak.
Ikut dong.
Halo
ikut.
Mbak.
Oh gitu, gimana dong caranya? Ayo ada di sana ya.
Poste ya, jangan lupa poste Topan.
Bisa nggak?
Di tim.
Nah, udah ini aja ada jongkok di depan apa gimana?
Kan ada bendera Amerika gitu.
Oh, minta tolong.
Jadi kita jaga maju dulu.
Iya nggak apa-apa. Jangan pakai kursi nanti kayak jadi foto keluarga gitu lah, malah lucu malah. Ayo.
Kok kata pendek banget gitu gue.
Oh, ini udah satu frame nggak? Yang UMY digedein ya?
Pokoknya yang digedein udah gede, jangan.
Gini aja.
Kalian masuk frame kok. Tenang, kita foto bareng.
Iya.
Ayo Mbak Tika sama Indah ya.
Emang kayak gitu mesti.
Oh iya, ada lagi. Oh gitu.
Jempol. Aku nggak mau jempol
Semuanya, ayo. Oh,
orang belum.
Apa, ayo.
Ya kan Mas?
Oke. Ininya boleh tuh. Alma aja yang maju deh.
Enggak lagi sih jempol.
Ini ketutupan nggak ya? Topan ketutupan yang beda.
Maaf, Pan. Kita sama-sama gede, Pan.
Udah? 1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi. 1, 2, 3. Yang 3 ya. Oke. 1, 2, 3. Oke.
Thank you.
Sekali lagi.
Apa lagi nih? Lo kan
Oh.
udah.
Enggak bisa. Hadap sana.
Oh kita foto sama-sama di Zoom.
Iya, betul. Jadi nanti
Oh gini aja. Ya udah gini aja.
Gini aja.
Yeay.
Siapa yang capture?
Terus ini yang capture siapa Mbak Tika? Oh ya udah dihitung ya. Dihitung Mbak Tika. Yeay. Oke Silvi keren. Udah Silvi. Oke. Kok nggak dihitung? Kita dijemput jam berapa?
Dijemput jam
Kok dijemput?
besok ya, naik apa? Naik motor.
Habis ini naik
Oh, ini lo motor tadi.